Sabrina Maldonado, and today I want to go over the long-term effects of overexposure to the sun and the importance of taking preventative measures to ward off harmful diseases. Now, if I were to ask a classroom of people to give me a show of hands on how many people actively wear sunscreen on a daily basis, I'm sure very few hands would raise. Although it has, after like a big amount of extensive research on this topic, I have seen and learned much about this and how detrimental the sun can be. Although it has beneficial qualities, too much of it can lead to very harmful and unfavorable health issues. About 90% of non-melanoma skin cancers are associated with the exposure of ultraviolet radiation from the sun. In spite of the fact that there are many preventative measures that can be taken and available to stop diseases caused by sun exposure, many people don't use protection on a daily basis and are unaware of the dangers. So the question is, why are so many people taking measures to protect themselves, and how many little people are actually doing this? With the amount of product on our shelves, it's very not smart to not take advantage of all these products that we have. First off, I want to begin by explaining what UV radiation is and why it can be so harmful. I know many of us hear this and our first thoughts are, what's the UV index? I want to get tan. These mindless actions are carried out by people all over the world who believe they are invincible to the sun's power. I know at a young age, it's hard to imagine or picture yourself in a world where you're not as strong as you think. We're told to protect ourselves now, or we'll be forced to deal with the repercussions later on. And somehow the only word that registers is later, and we seem to just brush this off like it's no big deal. However, we are unaware of just how dangerous the UV radiation can be. UVs are invisible rays that are part of energy that comes from the sun. There are two types of UV radiations, and these two types come from the Earth's surface, being UVA and UVB, and this is from the National Cancer Institute. A UV index of 6 to 7 means moderate risk of harm, while a UV ray index of 8 to 11 means you are extreme high risk for harm. The index measures how strong UV rays will be, and the higher the index, the greater the strength of the sun's UV rays, and the faster we may experience damaging effects from overexposure. Repeated unprotected exposure can cause skin damage and premature aging, melanoma, and many other types of skin cancers. It can also cause problems with the eyes and immune system. With that being said, I want to talk about this man right here. This is a 69-year-old truck driver whose face is prematurely aged on only one side, and this is all due to sun damage. His face was altered by a process called unilateral dermatolithiosis, or the photoaging, which is caused by repeated exposure from the sun. As you can see, the right side of his face was always protected from inside the sun and from inside the truck, and was never like directly in the sun, while his left side was very unfortunate and was always directly in the sun. And this also led to extensive tightening in his skin and lots of slugging then happening. And this was because of a destruction of all the fibers on his left side of his face. So that is something that sun damage can cause for many people. The next picture shows blistering hand as a result of a severe burn caused by the sun. In her situation, this is a lady who had been squeezing limes for cocktails for a party. She then washed her hands, but decided to not put sunscreen before going outside. After 48 hours, she had developed severe vesicles on both of her hands. This condition is also known as margarita dermatitis, and not the fun one. These photos aren't to scare you, but just to show you that doing the most mundane activities can put you at risk for complications at the hands of sun exposure and these powerful rays. It can also lead to more serious effects like cancer. There are 4 types of cancers, including basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, Marcel cell cancer, and melanoma. all caused by overexposure from ultraviolet radiation. The good news is that there are certain derivatives that can help and to prevent you from all this formation of cancer. The Mayo Clinic actually recommends to avoid going into the sun middle of the day, wearing sunscreen, and always wearing protective clothing. For the formation of blisters and the formation of burns to cancers, all caused by the sun, it is important to not succumb yourself to the dangers of UV radiation. I know we are very in a big generation where we're very live now and think later. But I hope after hearing all about this and the skin diseases and all the threats that are posed to ourselves, you are more conscious of all the impact that the sun has on our day-to-day lives. A single application of sunscreen can save your life.